Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're actually here with another 2v2 today. We've got double green skins going up against a combined Bretonnian and Tomb King list. So let's go ahead and jump to the army compositions for the massive herd of boys here, the massive Waz, you may say. Wurzag's going to be leading my force. Azag will be leading the proper green skins. Jonton of Total Brohammer will be commanding that force. We've got a whole mess of Savage Orc Biggins for my force with a front line of Gobos, back line of, Nasty Skulkers with the AP Loonies and Warlords boys. We've also got some Broken Tusk Mob, Gobbo Big Boss, and the Mangy Marauders. For Azag's force here, he's got more Savage Orc Biggins, some more Skulkers, another 8-Peak Looney, and some Spider Riders as well, a couple of Gobbo Wolf Chariots, and of course, Azag himself with Fate of Yuna and Spirit Leech. On Wurzag here, I've got Fists of Gork and Rain Bursta, as well as the Bonewood Staff, of course. For the Tomb Kings here, they've got a Tomb King leading the way. Front line of Tomb Guard and Tomb Guard with halberds. Got some Skeleton Warriors in the back, two Screaming Skull Catapults. I don't even see these things, so I don't even remember how to say their name apparently. So one unit of Ushabti, a Light Wizard, Skeleton Archers, and for the Bretonnians, a front line of Battle Pilgrims. We've got some Spearmen at Arms with shields out to the flanks, a couple of Peasant Bowmen, Alberic. Wow, Alberic de Bordelot, true hero of Bretonnia, here with his fancy trident helm. I wish he actually had a trident. I feel like that would be so much cooler. But anyway, Knights Lionhearted, some more questing knights and Knights of the Realm. And over here we've got the Companions of Quenelle and Damsel Lore of Life. I also forgot to mention Dirkit Squigs and more Squig Hoppers there for Jonton. So without further ado, we're going to kick the battle into full gear. And the Screaming Skull I haven't used, but it actually does some pretty effective damage here to these Savage Orc Biggins. Of course, they don't have any armor whatsoever, relying entirely on their physical resistance. And the Screaming Skull actually does magic damage with its missiles. So it is actually going to do some pretty okay damage to my units here, the Savage Orcs and the Savage Orc Airboys in particular. You can see I'm firing into these Ushabti with the Mangy Marauders, and I'm going to scoot out of there, not let those Skeleton Archers fire in too much. We've got the first Wa popping off from Azag here, and it was just in time. The Bretonnians were starting to charge down the hill, and it was going to be a pretty dangerous situation, but intercepting the charge with these the Spider Riders here, and then the Savage Orcs also getting in there. I'm going to also pop a Brain Bursta at the first opportunity to get the Bonewood Staff also going off here. So, pretty good engagement initially. You can see the Lore of Life Damsel trying to keep these units fighting, but the Savage Orc Biggins, especially with the Wa and the Bonewood Staff and all the other effects, are just so strong here. They're going to cut through these Knights of the Realm without too much issue. Albert comes down to try and apply some terror, but it does look like actually some greenskin units routing off on this side here. You can see the Brain Bursta going off. Meanwhile, over on this side, we've got the Wa running through the Tomb Kings as well. Skulkers, Biggins, everything fighting in here. It's going to be a bad time overall. We've got the second Wa popping off now from Wurzag here, so another huge timing push, and that double map-wide Wa is just so strong. The greenskins in a 2v2 situation are going to be probably one of the strongest factions. They're just super strong in 1v1, but in 2v2 with that map-wide Wa effect makes them that much more powerful. You can see the Bretonnian forces starting to crumble already. They've got a few pockets of resistance still remaining, but at this point things are looking pretty rough. That being said, Azag might get caught out here. Nope, looks like the units that were maybe going to catch him out actually did get terrified there. We've got a Smoke Bomb, not quite catching those Knights of the Realm, but over here, a couple of Tomb Scorpions that were hidden on the side going to come in. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to apply the terror quickly enough, and these Savage Orc Biggins are going to apply some really good damage with their anti-large bonus. Ooh, a nice shot from that Plague Claw Catapult there. Actually does force a terror route, so very, very good use of that Plague Claw Catapult. Bounce power's in our favor. The Bretonnians have mostly crumbled. The Tomb Kings are still online, though. Not for long. We've got Gobbos in the back line getting this Skeleton Artillery crew in the front line. Biggins are just cutting up these Tomb Guard. We've got the AP Loonies fighting in here as well. Alberic tries to come down again to do a quick terror bomb, but we're going to get Wurzag running in here. Sue Pig for the pig, all the boar sounds and all that jazz. Wow. some fancy flying there, but another Here We Go going to go down in this pocket, or it looks like a Brain Burster as well. So yeah, it's going to be victory for the Greenskin forces in just a short amount of time. You can see the balance power is already twisted pretty decisively in our favor, so we'll just kind of soak up some more cinematics of the boys just flowing over, and the green tide is super real in this patch, man. I love what they've done with the Greenskins. It just feels like a horde, like just a horde of angry Greenskins just rolling over your opponent, really strong in the front line and on the charge. If you can manage to weather that charge and do some good shock damage, you know, try and break up the wah, you know, it definitely can be done, but if you just take it straight up in the chin like this, 9 times out of 10, the wah is going to punch you in the teeth because it's just so powerful. You can see the Tomb Kings mounting their desperate final defense here. Azag's in here, Wurzag's in here, mixing it up with the Tomb Scorpion himself. Actually taking some damage, a little bit uncomfortable, but Shabti's getting summoned up here, and you've got the Savage Orc Air Boys still online. Didn't really pay much attention to these guys throughout the battle, but they have been firing in with relative impunity. Squig Hoppers, Broken Tusk Mob, you know, all of the forces at this point just collapsing on this tiny little pocket here, and another Here We Go gonna go down, catch all the units in this pocket here. We actually throw an effigy to get on this Scorpion here, and we're gonna try and finish it off. You can see, yeah, it's just a few seconds left on the battlefield timer, and yeah, super fun battle. Just loving where the Greenskins are at. Can't say it enough. It's definitely much better than it was before. Ooh, a nasty Brainbuster right in the center, doing a little bit of friendly fire, but just trying to finish off what's left of the Tomb Kings. There's mostly just the 2 Scorpions at this point, so you can see Albric just taking a horrendous amount of fire from those Savage Orcs. We actually caught him with a Smoke Bomb, and yeah, he's going to get taken down by the most unchivalrous of Greenskin missile weapons, just like Guy Le Breton back in the day. You know, very fitting end for Albric, the Unwanted. But yeah, the Tomb King himself at this point is the only one left. He is disintegrating as we speak, so yeah, it's going to be victory for the Green Tide. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Super fun battle to play. Like I said, that double wah map wide is just so strong, and the Greenskins, again, good in 1v1, even better in 2v2. They may be the best 2v2 faction in the game just because of that map wide wah effect. It affects not only you but your ally, and just it's incredible, especially if you have 2 Greenskin Lords who can, you know, chain it one after the other. Wurzag in particular, you can keep that Bonewood Staff uptime. You also have Fist of Gork and Here We Go to buff up your melee stats, so you can just make the Greenskin infantry so mean in melee. And yeah, we definitely were able to roll over our opponents pretty effectively there. If you take a look at Jonton's army, you can see the Savage Orc Biggins all across the line picking up XP chevrons, dealing really good damage to the Knights of the Realm and more, just mopping the Bretonnian peasant line. For my forces, took a bit more damage since the Tomb Kings, you know, they had some constructs and some different things, but we were still able to cut through the majority of them pretty effectively here. Nice kills on the Savage Orc Biggins once again. Mangy Marauders doing a bit of nice work as well, and the Broken Tusk Mob. Of course, Wurzag providing those buffs map wide. Again, the Bonewood Staff is another map wide effect, and this is just kind of general advice for when you guys are playing 2v2s. I would definitely recommend that you look for map-wide effects. Wah is a good one. Orion has a similar effect. It's a map-wide charge bonus item. Maybe you pair that with Wah and you get just a huge spike to your charge bonus and like just run at the enemy with a bunch of Wild Riders and Boar Biggins, you know, something like that. Metal Shifting is another really strong one for the lore of metal. It's a map-wide 10% weapon strength and AP buff, which hits, you know, all your units map wide. So again, when you guys are playing 2v2s, when you're thinking about the builds you want to take for 2v2s, think about the map wide effects that you can take and how that can benefit your ally, like you guys have also seen me take, even if it's not a map wide effect, but just in general area of effect buffs and debuffs. Think about how that can synergize with other factions, like with the Daka Khalida build, for example, with a ballistics calibration from a Dawi engineer. Or maybe you take the Daka Khalida build, but instead you bring Ilithanar for his reload skill buff, and also a Handmaiden because she has a few as well. You know, you guys can kind of see how I start to think about 2v2s in a little bit of a different way than you do 1v1s, because there's a whole second layer of synergy and strategy that comes into it. You have to think about these map-wide effects, you know, localized area of effects that can buff up your allies. Another thing to consider is, like, for example, Tomb Kings and Vampires. Tomb Kings don't actually have that many healing mechanics themselves, but the Vampires' healing all applies to the Tomb Kings' infantry, like the skeletal units of the Tomb Kings. So that's another thing to consider is, okay, if we're going to take Vampires and Tomb Kings, we can take a massive blob that gets a lot of healing. The buffs for the Vampire counts are all very applicable to the Tomb Kings, so again, kind of some things to think about in 2v2s. Greenskins and greenskins, you can't go wrong with that. Greenskins in anyone, pretty much, you probably can't go wrong with, aside from maybe Dowie. Even then, although that is complete heresy to even, you know, suggest. I don't imagine that would be the best combination, but, like, you guys have seen me use Greenskins Bretonia, even, like, Greenskins Chaos would be really strong. Anyone with the Greenskins, because that wah is just such a strong effect to have in a 2v2. Can't say it enough. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.